Dear students, this is my third video lecture on capital budgeting decisions in subject Financial and Management Accounting Paper 7 for class MCOM Semester 3, Veer Narmad South Gujarat University. In this video lecture, we will discuss about the decision making techniques. We will discuss traditional or non-discounting techniques. First is payback period method and the second is accounting rate of return. Capital budgeting techniques. Traditional or non-discounting techniques in which we have payback period method and accounting rate of return method. The second is time adjusted or discounted cash flow technique in which we have net present value method, profitability index method and internal rate of return methods. So like this we can broadly classify capital budgeting techniques into two categories: traditional or non-discounting techniques and time adjusted or discounted cash flow techniques. In traditional or non-discounting techniques we have two methods. First is payback period method, second is accounting rate of return method. Whereas in discounted cash flow method we have net present value technique, profitability index method or a technique and internal rate of return technique. In this particular lecture we will focus only on traditional or a non-discounting techniques, payback period method and accounting rate of return method. Payback period method. Let us understand the meaning. What is payback period? Payback period represents the time period required for complete recovery of the initial investment in the project. It is the period within which the total cash inflows from the project equals the total cost of investment in the project. The lower payback period, the better it is, since initial investment is recovered faster. Let us understand the meaning of payback period. It is a period during which the initial investment in the project comes as a cash inflow to the business. Say for example, in one particular project a invested amount is rupees 5 lakh and these 5 lakh is cash outflow for the firm. Now according to payback period we count the period. It can be in the form of days, in the form of months, in the form of years, during which the entire investment of rupees 5 lakh comes back to the firm. Now suppose the initial investment of rupees 5 lakh in the project comes in the form of cash inflow to the firm in 3 years, in 3 years period. So for this particular project our payback period would be 3 years, because the entire investment is returned to the firm in 3 years. And The lower the payback period, the better it is, because it indicates the faster recovery of our initial investment. Now, let us see the procedure for computation of payback period. There are three main steps for computation of payback period. First step, determine the initial investment of the project. That is nothing but cash outflow. That is our cash outflow, initial investment in the very first year of the project. Number two, determine the CFAT, that is cash flow after tax, from the project for various years. It would be considered as our cash inflow. And third step is compute payback period as under. First condition or a first case or a first situation. In case of uniform cash flow after tax per annum, and the second case is different cash flow after tax per annum. Uniform मतलब same amount of cash flow after tax is received. Say for example, in the very first year of project we are getting CFAT rupees 2 lakh, second year again rupees 2 lakh, third year again rupees 2 lakh, fourth year again rupees 2 lakh. So here our cash flow after tax per annum is uniform, and the second is a different cash flow after tax. Say for example, in the first year we are getting rupees 2 lakh as CFAT, in the second year we are getting 2 lakh 25,000, in the third year we are getting 2 lakh 75,000, in the fourth year we are getting 3 lakh. So here our cash flow after tax per annum is different. Looking to the case, we need to work out payback period. Now, calculation of payback period. In case of uniform cash flow after tax per annum, payback period can be calculated by using the formula. Our payback period is equal to initial investment divided by cash flow after tax per annum. And in case of different CFAT per annum, we take three steps. Step number one, compute cumulative cash flow after tax at the end of every year. Number two, determine the year in which cumulative CFAT is greater than initial investments. And third, payback period is equal to time at which cumulative CFAT is equal to initial investment. And our decision criteria would be accept project if payback period is less than maximum or benchmark period, else reject the project. Now let us understand the calculation of payback period by taking examples. First example, a project has an initial investment of rupees 1 lakh. It will produce cash flows after tax of rupees 25,000 per annum for 7 years. Now compute the payback period for the project. Dear students, here our cash flow after tax per annum is rupees 25,000. It means this is our first case for calculation of payback period, where our CFAT is equal every year. Now in our example, initial investment, that is cash outflow, is rupees 1 lakh, and every year CFAT is equal to rupees 25,000. So our payback period of this particular project would be initial investments divided by cash flow after tax per annum. So 1 lakh rupees initial investment divided by CFAT per annum rupees 25,000. So it is 4 years. It means our initial investment of rupees 1 lakh will be recovered within 4 years from the particular project, and therefore 4 year is our payback period. Now let us take another example to understand the second case where CFAT is different every year. A project has an initial investment of rupees 10 lakhs. Its cash flows for 5 years are rupees 3 lakh, rupees 3 lakh 60,000, again rupees 3 lakh, rupees 2 lakh 64,000 and rupees 2 lakh 40,000, and we are asked to calculate the payback period. Now here, my dear students, you can see our initial investment or cash outflow is of rupees 10 lakh, and CFAT, that is cash flow after tax, every year for 5 years is different. That is 3 lakh, 3 lakh 60,000, 3 lakh, 2 lakh 64,000 and rupees 2 lakh 40,000. So in this case we will use our second method for calculation of payback period. We prepare a table like this. First column is year. We are given 5 years. So we will take first to 5 years. That is first year, second year, third year, fourth and fifth year. In first year our CFAT is 3 lakh. So cumulative CFAT by the end of first year would be rupees 3 lakh. In second year our CFAT is rupees 3 lakh 60,000. So cumulative CFAT by the end of second year would be rupees 6 lakh 60,000. That is 3 lakh plus 3 lakh 60,000 is equal to 6 lakh 60,000. In the same way, our CFAT for third year is rupees 3 lakh. So cumulative CFAT at the end of third year would be 6 lakh 60,000 plus 3 lakh is equal to 9 lakh 60,000. Our CFAT in by the end of 4 year is 2 lakh 64,000. So our CFAT would be, cumulative CFAT would be rupees 12 lakh 24,000. That is 9 lakh 60,000 plus 2 lakh 64,000. That is 12 lakh 24,000. And our CFAT for 5 year, fifth year is rupees 2 lakh 40,000. So cumulative CFAT by the end of fifth year amounts to rupees 14 lakh 64,000. That is 12 lakh 24,000 plus 2 lakh 40,000 is equal to 14 lakh 64,000. So in this case where CFAT is different, it is necessary to prepare a cumulative CFAT table like this. Now let us check our payback period. Here let us compare cumulative CFAT with our initial investment. So in first year our CFAT, cumulative CFAT is rupees 3 lakh, whereas our initial investment is rupees 10 lakh. So 3 lakh is less than 10 lakh. Second trial. Second cumulative CFAT is 6 lakh 60,000, where our initial investment is rupees 10 lakh. Again, this is less than 10 lakh. In third year, our cumulative CFAT is rupees 9 lakh 60,000, whereas our initial investment is rupees 10 lakh only. So 3 year is not our payback period. Whereas in fourth year, our cumulative CFAT is rupees 12 lakh 24,000 and our initial investment is rupees 10 lakh. Here 12 lakh 24,000 is greater than rupees 10 lakh. So now between third year and fourth year, our payback period will be Okay, so let us calculate the payback period. First of all, you see 9,60,000 rupees in the form of CFAT is recovered or returned in 3 years. That is confirmed, 9,60,000. And now to complete rupees 10 lakh, we require more 40,000 rupees. So these 40,000 will recovered in the 4th year. We have recovered these 40,000 in the 4th year. Okay, that is out of rupees 2,64,000. Out of rupees 2,64,000, 40,000 is recovered in the 4th year. Okay, now let us calculate payback period. So our formula will be payback period is equal to 3 years. Here 3 years represent for 9,60,000, that is 3 years, plus further requirement 40,000, and these 40,000 would be out of rupees 2,64,000. So 40,000 divided by 2,64,000. So our payback period would be 3.15 years. 3.15 years. And if you convert these 3.15 years, it would be 3 years and 2 months. 3 years and 2 months. How these 2 months come? Let us check. Our 12 months CFAT is 2,64,000. So you can put one cross multiplication. 2,64,000 is equal to 12 months. So 40,000 is equal to question mark. And it will give you approximate 2 months. So in this particular sum, for this particular case of different CFAT, our payback period is 3 years and 2 months. It means in a period of 3 years and 2 months, our entire initial investment rupees 10 lakh will be recovered by the firm. Now let us discuss the second method, second traditional method, that is accounting or average rate of return, commonly known as ARR. Accounting rate of return means the average annual yield on the project. In this method, profit after tax instead of CFAT is used for evaluation of the project. I repeat, in this method, profit after tax is considered for evaluation, not cash flow after tax. This is the basic difference or a main difference between first method, payback period, and the second method, accounting rate of return or average rate of return. Now our formula for average rate of return is average profit after tax per annum divided by initial investment multiply by 100. By using this formula, we will get accounting or average rate of return. Here, average profit after tax per annum will be calculated by using formula, that is total profit after tax during project period divided by number of years of project life. So by applying this formula, we will get average profit after tax per annum. Now in the formula of accounting rate of return, we use denominator either initial investment or average investment as per the information available. Initial investment means initial cash outflow for the project, whereas average investment will be calculated by using formula, that is average investment is equal to initial investment plus salvage value or a scrap value divided by 2. By applying this formula, we will calculate average investment. And now let us understand average or accounting rate of return by one example. Total investment in a project is rupees 8 lakh and scrap value at the end of its working life is rupees 1 lakh. Its average annual income net of depreciation and tax is rupees 90,000. So calculate accounting or average rate of return. Our formula for average rate of return is average annual income upon average investment multiplied by 100. Now let us check the data. Here we have annual income, net annual income after depreciation and tax is rupees 90,000. This is nothing but our net profit after tax, and that is average. So it is readily available rupees 90,000. And now average investment will be calculated by using formula initial investments plus scrap value or salvage value of the project divided by 2. So in the given example it is rupees 8 lakh initial investment plus scrap value rupees 1 lakh divided by 2. So our average investments amount to rupees 4 lakh 50,000. Now let us put the available information in our formula of average or annual rate of return. So it is something like rupees 90,000 divided by rupees 4 lakh 50,000 multiplied by 100. So it amounts to 20%. That's all. My dear students, in this particular lecture we discussed or we tried to understand non-discounting or traditional capital budgeting techniques, payback period method and accounting or average rate of return method. In next video lecture we will solve examples related to these two methods. Thank you very much for watching this video lecture. Watch this lecture and please make your personal notes out of it for your university exams. Thank you very much.